Good morning, everyone. What's today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. We're going to talk about listings, script practice for listings, conversations around listings, all the things we need to be saying around listings. So before I just dive on in, I want to know what is something or whatever you want to work on when it comes to listings. What is something you need help with in your conversation? And it can be making the calls. Go ahead, Gene.
I'll say something that's been on my mind. I haven't had the opportunity to have this conversation yet, but what's been on my mind is the conversation with the seller when we get to the 3%, 6%. And I'm stuck there because when I've bought a home, I've always gone into the assumption that it's 6%, right? I just signed the contract and it's 6%. Now it's not set. So that's something that I just got to get comfortable with and practice on my own side. When I get to that point, it'll flow.
So
right?
If you take listings, anybody on here taking a lot of listings since the rules all changed? They really didn't change. They just kind of brought them to the front. But has anybody taken any listings, and how has that conversation gone? Or how do you go about it? Is there anybody who has any input on that? So Lori just walked in. Lori, when you're taking listings and it comes to the commission piece of the conversation, how do you approach that?
I guess it just kind of depends on how the commission is approached. I take my listings where I don't really have any kickback or pushback on the compensation, because I'm like.
So I'm the seller. What do you tell me? Because you got to go over the contract and say this is how we get paid, right?
So with the new one, I just took a listing, not too long ago, but with the new listing, I just explained to the seller when I got to that commission part that the 3% compensation is for our listing. So this gets paid to the brokerage. The compensation to the buyer broker is going to be written into the contract. So it's, and I explained to them that everything's set up differently. Nothing has changed. It's still 6% with the listing agreement. It only is for our broker compensation, but the 3% for the buyers, compensation is going to come in the 1 to 4 when we get an offer. My seller's first question was, okay, so is it still negotiable? I said, absolutely, it's still negotiable, just as anything else in the contract. But we'll talk about that when we get the offer.
Mm-hmm.
We got one offer on it, 3% came on it. He was fine, signed. I mean, I didn't get any pushback, but I just did.
So most of the time, it's not even a big deal. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the only time I really, really felt like we had to really explain was when all the changes were coming. But still then, sellers knew that the compensation was, 6%. So I if I did get pushback, I think the way that I would handle it was just bringing them back to their why of why they're listing it. And letting them know that even with the 6% compensation, there are many other areas in the contract that I will be able to help negotiate to get them the most money in their pocket.
That help, Gene?
Yeah, it does help. I think at the end of the day, it's I'm more hung up on it because of how I did it when I bought and sold properties, but it's really not that big of a deal, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, for the most part, I really don't have, it doesn't really end up being an issue, right?
Right. Yeah, it's gonna cost you 6% or more, right? It's gonna cost you 6%. I get it. I think the sales experience will kick in at that point, and the words will be what they need to be to get through that if it comes up. So I'm not worried.
So
Okay, thank you.
let's talk about that. What if it does come up? So what would we say if a seller says, I'm not paying that 3% commission on the other side. I'll pay you for your job, but I'm not paying them. How do we work through that?
Sure, Mr. Ramirez, I understand. I mean, why don't we wait till we get an offer, right?
Mhm.
And at that point, that's when we decide how we deal with it. Right now, we don't have an offer. You know, right now your fee to us is 3%. That's what you got to worry about. When we get the offer, then we'll take that, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Absolutely. And that's it, guys. I mean, if you're really looking at it with the seller, you're going to get the offer in. You're going to plug in all the numbers. You're going to get a net sheet. Everybody know, if you don't know what a net sheet is, you're going to calculate all the figures in to figure out what the bottom line is after closing costs, after commission, after everything. What is the seller taking home? That's really what the seller really cares about. What is that net dollar at the very end of it all, right? Okay. If they don't like that net dollar, they get to make a decision. I don't like it. I do like it. I want a little more. It's perfect. Who knows? And that's what I explain to people is, man, there's not a more fair deal in business than a real estate agent representing you. We're going to market. We're going to take photos. We're going to put it online. We're going to do social media. We're going to do all this work. Then we're going to have agents show it. They're going to write an offer. We're going to go over everything with you. We're going to negotiate with them, have all the conversation. And the crazy thing is, if in the end, none of it makes you happy, I don't make a penny. But if in the end, the final dollar makes you happy, you get paid, I get paid, everybody gets to win. I can't tell you a more fair business situation than that. That's it. If you come to me and say, man, I want another $5,000, guess what my job is now? My job is to go get you another $5,000. That's what my job is. So that when you're on these listings, guys, I mean, I think that's I don't think that conversation is a detriment. I think that conversation is actually a bonus. It is a pin in your hat. It is absolutely something where you can sell yourself even more to that seller to say, man, I want you to understand how I get compensated. Here's how I get compensated. I kick ass, you win. If you don't feel like I do a great job, then you could tell me to kick rocks. That's how this can operate. So in that moment, they get to kind of have the conversation with you. They get to kick back. I mean, what other things could they possibly say? Just want to make sure we cover all the little nuances and things that could possibly come up.
What about those people that are just like, well, if you can get me another 5,000, that would cover the 3%. I want that extra 5,000 too. Like, no matter what, they just want more money.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't like subside the feeling of like, if I get the money to pay for this.
So you go back, right, and you try to get the 5,000, right? You do your job, and then when you come back and you actually have the conversation with them, for me, it's, are you willing to let go of this buyer in this market right now? Because right now, this is your net dollar. Are you going to trade this $45,000 in your pocket because you didn't get the extra 5,000? Or are you okay within the next 35 to 40 days, you make this $45,000 in your pocket? Does that make you happy? Well, yeah, I guess so. Okay. Well, then you got a decision to make. If you told me no, and you want that 5,000 and you're not signing, hey, all's fair. I get that. I understand. I will tell you, as a friend, not just your real estate agent, I think you're making a bad decision there. But my job isn't to stop you from making the bad decision. My job is to give you all the information you need to make the best decision for your family. Then you got to make that decision. Right? And I will tell them, like, you know, when I'm representing a buyer and they're writing an offer and the seller's negotiating with them, I also tell them, are you willing to walk away from this house for $5,000? Or are you going to give the $5,000? And that's a you decision. I can't make that for you. that $5,000 means $15 more a month in
Yeah.
your payment. Is that something you want to do? If the answer is hell no, not another 15, I'm not doing it, then I understand that we should walk away. And I will tell you, in a negotiation on all sides, you got to be willing to walk away. You got to be willing to say, hey, this isn't a good fit for me. And you got to protect your peace. And that happens in all forms of business. At some point or another, you got to put your foot down and say, no, I'm not letting you screw me over again. No, I'm not going to. No, I've given up so much commission to so many people, and I bring so much value. I'm sticking to my guns. And that's okay. And you may lose business because of it. But you know, you're stuck to your guns. And there may be people that, Gene, that say, well, I don't see your value, then I'm not signing this. And if you did show all your value and you did present, you did have a conversation, and then they walk away, you may have just dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
So you got to find your peace in that. Not every business is good business, guys. We're not meant to be in business with everyone. I got to tell you, I got into a situation with a listing. I knew it in my damn gut. I should not have taken this listing. Oh, my Lord. I knew it in my gut, Gene. These people were, the husband just kept picking and picking and picking. And it wasn't regular questions. Like, he was being a jerk, right? But me being competitive, I'm like, yeah, let's go. See what we can do. I want to win this over. I want to get this listing. All this shit. And it went on from the day we met with them, and they didn't sign with me for another month. And then it went on from there and then. And also looking back at the data I had, I was their third agent. They'd been with 3 agents. And the wife was a real estate agent too. She was licensed at the time. Guess what happened? They sued me.
Oh man.
Yeah, I brought them a buyer. We had issues. We went back and forth. Buyer didn't deposit the earnest money, and they sued me. When I got to be honest, my gut was, do not take these people. But then your pride and your ego is like, yeah, let's go. No, dude. Sometimes you got to say no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If they talk about suing people a lot, yeah, dude, walk away from that shit. And they did. And oh my God, I'm like 19 years in the business, and I got myself in a stupid situation. But luckily, didn't lose anything. Nothing really happened, right? It was just, we went to terms. And you know what? People like that, all they want is, they just want money. Right? They were just trying to go get money. So you got to be willing to walk away in a negotiation situation. You got to be willing to trust your gut and say, oh, this is not good for me. And you got to be able to present all your stuff and let the seller make that decision too. Maybe it's not a good fit for them. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Guys, anything around this conversation? This is a great conversation. Thank you, Gene. I don't know if we talk about this enough.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a long minute since we talked about this type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that Robin said, that if the seller is hassling or like stuck over $5,000, I break it down for them and say, look, how much are you paying? How much does each month of taxes, of insurance, of maintenance costs on this house cost you? So you turn down this offer, you sit on it for another 2-3 months, you just ate half of that $5,000. Is it worth it?
Yeah. Does this bring up any more questions around this, guys? Anything else you want to talk about? So in the listing world with scripts, whether it's on the phone making calls or in your listing presentation or even in a negotiation, what other conversation pieces do you guys want to work on around listings and sellers? Is there anything y'all need help with? Man, my allergies are nuts.
My family.
And I've also been I've been teared up this morning. my boy's first day of school.
Oh,
Oh my God, it's so many emotions. This is nuts. It's hard. I've been crying all morning, man.
That was my sister-in-law yesterday.
Who else
And I thought about it today.
Who else got a little teary eyed today or this week dropping off a kid?
That's going through the school zone, nothing flashing.
We're gonna blame it on allergies. So I wasn't crying. It's the pollen count.
They all had it.
It's not good. What else, guys? What else around sellers and listings do we want to absolutely work on?
Sellers working with multiple agents, I guess asking around, talking to different agents, like how can I convince the seller that, hey, I'm your guy for this and I can get your property sold, when they don't sound like too convinced, like, oh, I've heard it all before from I've heard this all before type of thing, you know what I mean?
Man, that is a damn good question, Othon. I'm gonna tell you right now, as you ask it, and I'm like, I don't have the greatest answer for you. This is what I would say is this. So, man, the greatest way to find out like how to win when you're competing with other agents is really asking a lot of questions. You just want to get to know that seller. What do they value? What's important to them? Some of these people want to connect with you as a human, right? Like, oh, I really like you. You're really cool. You're really fun. You're really friendly. Like, we got a lot in common. Some of them, it's about a relationship. Maybe you got referred to them and that person trusts you, and that means a lot. Some of them, it's strictly about money. Some of them, it's strictly about marketing. Some of them they have these weird things in their head, like, I want you to have an open house every weekend. I will tell you, the only way to find out is you got to ask questions. You got to dig and find out what matters to this human being. What's their scale? Are they going for more open houses? Do they want the warm and fuzzies and say you're my homie? Do they want the most robust marketing plan? Some people are like, they want you to pay for staging or something like that. Like, what's that conversation look like? Like, I've seen so many different scenarios. I know Laura does a lot of listings and she deals with a lot of expireds. Laura, in the expired world, what do you find will help you beat out other agents? Like, what do most sellers want?
Just exactly what you said. Like, I ask him a lot of questions. What went wrong? Did you get any offers? Did you, just kind of like usually the things that you always preach at us, they come from curiosity. And I ask him a lot of questions because I want to know what the other agent did that they did not succeed, because I'm going to tell them the exact opposite. And so they come and tell me they never answer my calls. They never check in. They never, like, tell me your experience. Did you get any offers? Did you get this? And they just talk and talk and talk and talk. And then once that I know what the other agent did, then that's whenever I'm like, okay, this is what I do and this is what I'm different. And I might not be, what you're looking for, but this is how I work for my clients. And this is what I do because I come after expires. And then I tell them, because it is true, I do everything opposite. The reason why they fail is because communication wasn't there and they were not listening. They were not answering. They were not, they just pretty much were ignoring them. So when you listen to all of that, then you're going to come back and you're going to tell them that you're going to do the opposite, because that's truly who you need to be, the opposite of that agent that didn't get the job done. Once that you tell them all of that and you just let them, and then you get the listing. Works every time.
All right. So in your catalog of questions, let's go through it. Like, what do you believe are your absolute best questions to ask the seller to figure out like what's most important to them?
I mean, what do you feel your previous agent did? You could ask, what did they do right and what did they do wrong?
Yeah.
Right? But I would ask, what do you feel your previous agent did properly or could have done different?
Yeah.
Go there. What could you have? What do you feel your previous agent could have done different?
My handwriting is so bad. Sandra's gonna write this.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think your agent could have been done different or better?
Yeah.
You can even ask, what did they do really well?
Yeah. Well.
So
Yeah,
that-
so that's how I start. Like I ask him, tell me what happened. Did you get any offers? Were you listed? What was your experience like? Tell me everything. And then they start talking. And then from there, just exactly what you said, Jean. And then from there they start. And then from there, I start carrying the conversation. You know, and I don't ever mean to bash the other agent, and I don't talk bad about them because I really don't know them. And that's not like me to even talk bad about them. But it's just, it starts from there, and it's just like, tell me, do you get any? And once that they start telling you all that, because even from there, do you have any showings? What were you priced like? It helps you overcome the you're gonna come over here priced at the same thing as you were before. Because one of my biggest objections is they want to price it at the same amount, and it's like, well, you already know it doesn't work, so why would we do the same thing?
Yeah. Well.
So
Yeah.
so that's how you start the conversation. So that's, you know, just a little bit to add into all the questions that I see Sandra putting on the board.
But listen, I like your question. I
how
like
many
your.
offers? Number
I
three.
like your tell me what happened question, because that's very open-ended, and they're just gonna throw up all over that, right? If they're motivated to talk, tell me what happened. That could go in many directions. Whereas if you ask, you know, what do they do well, that's gonna go like to one or two places, or what did they do wrong? So I like your tell me what happened, because that could open up a lot more.
Yeah, one way I like to kind of form these questions is I like to say, can you tell me the top 3 things that are most important to you and your next real estate agent? Can you tell me what are the top 3 things you want your next agent to do? Can you tell me the top 3 things an agent could do to be wrong with you or lose with you? So what are the top 3 things that if an agent did them, you would be like, oh no, you're fired. I want to know like what you really value because it matters to me. That's a great conversation. Okay, so we got some great questions. What did your agent do well? Did you have any showings? What was your price? Did you have any offers? Tell me the top 3 things you want your agent to do. So in your experience, or any other listing agent on here, what do you hear the most? What do you hear the most? I mean, you said one. I didn't hear from my agent. I heard no communication. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I would say one of your top things, so I'll put that on there, top things usually sellers are looking for is communication. What are other things you feel like you get the most, Laura, as far as answers from them?
Sorry, my generator kicked in. I had to move to a different room. So that's one. The other one is, you know, the communication is always the big one. So it's always they over communicate, and I start writing them down. That's one. Sometimes they tell me that the open house was not even offered to them at all. I'm not big in open houses because I have never been successful at it. I know that there's a niche, and so I always pass them on to somebody else. So I make the point of writing it down and say that they want open houses, and I ask them how often, you know, everything. Do they have any, you know, restrictions about showing? You know, how did they handle their showings? A lot of the other things is that I noticed that a lot of agents don't like to add their clients into Showing Smart. They want to control all of that. And to me, I like to add them in there so that way they see they can see in real life if somebody is actually coming and schedule their property instead of me pretending like somebody's scheduling. And then if they see that nobody's happening, well, we have an issue, and everything is, you know, I'm pretty transparent with all of that. That's another one. The third one is going to be always price, that they're going to tell me that the agent told them into what they need to be priced. And I don't tell them in what they need to be priced. I give them 3 different prices. I show them, I know, Ozzie, I know you know this one, like the upside down triangle, then, you know, that we did in Keller Williams, you know, that over here, this is the fish that you're going to get. Over here, this is the one, but over here is where we need to be because you're going to cast a bigger net. So I do that as we're going through the numbers and everything, and it just makes sense. And whenever they tell me, well, I'm not in a rush to sell, then that's fine. I understand you're not in a rush to sell. I'm not here for a commission, because everybody always tells me, well, you're going to make money regardless. I understand that, but I don't make it until I sell it, and I don't list just to list.
Yeah.
So then we talk about that, and I overcome the objections, and I always tell them that why would I want to be at the same thing that the other agent failed? So if I'm going to do the same thing, why would I take the listing if the same thing is going to happen? You already saw that it didn't work. So then we go into that. But so those are the three ones that it comes, with them. And I always tell them whenever they push on price, I always tell them, there's three different things: location, condition, and price. We cannot change the location of the property. We can really, alter the condition because we can work, on our house. But price is always what's going to, dictate everything. So it's just always communication is going to be the agent was not doing, they put the sign and they disappear. They never offer anything outside of the box, marketing or anything like that, in price. So it's those three that always going to come into the objections as to why it didn't work from the expires. And as long as you address them, let them talk, then you're always going to get the listing.
Here's guys, pricing. I feel like pricing, it's the same as the commission conversation. This is where we probably lose a lot of people, right? So one thing I will tell you, a tactic I've seen agents do that doesn't work is they go in with the price and they say, this is my price. You should list at 400,000. And you don't give them options. People want options. They want to believe they made a decision, right? So I often go in and my handwriting's probably going to suck, but I give 3 different price ranges. So I run my comps. I get very technical with it. And let's say I know on the high side, one property sold for 186 a square foot, but a majority of them sold around 180 a square foot, right? That were top notch. And then some of them, they're on the low side. I saw some for like, 145 a square foot. Those are jacked up, right? Or those are ones that need to sell quick, right? So 180 to 145, or let's say 180 to 150, right? So what I'll do is, if 150 I feel like is the lowest price per square foot, and 180 is the highest, 186 is a really push number. We don't want to go there because in this market, we don't want to outprice ourselves. So 180, 155, so 165 is the middle. So I'll say, look, 180 is top of market, 180 a square foot. Middle of the market, which we would consider more of real market value, is 165 a square foot. And the lowest price, which is more aggressive, is what we're going to call the bottom of the market, right? So you got to make a decision. At 180, it's probably going to take 6 months plus, and we're going to have to do price reductions. That's the actuality of it, right? The realization. At 165, I believe we can have you under contract in 3 months or less. At 150, I believe we'll have you under contract in 30 days. This is what I believe the math is. And you ask them, would you like to sit on the market longer, or would you like to move quicker? And then what do they usually say, Laura, whenever you come at them with this? I know you probably got some ideas on this. Or anybody. I'll tell you, most of the time they say, well, I want to price it high because I know they're going to try to negotiate me down. Super common. Really common. Okay. That's the belief system, right? But here's the problem is, and this is my script for that is, hey, I understand where you're coming from. And I believe it kind of makes sense. Can I tell you a problem with that? And they say, yeah, what's the problem? I say, well, more expensive than a lowball offer and somebody trying to negotiate down is what happens more often than that is no offers and no showings. And that's a problem because no offers and no showings, the only thing the market is telling us is you're overpriced. We have nothing else to go by. When we have offers and we have showings, it's a conversation. That is feedback. Even if it's a lowball offer, still feedback. Still tells you what somebody's thinking. Tells you somebody's willing to write an offer and get finance for your house. That's feedback. No showings got nothing to do with that. showings we can get feedback on. So your goal is not to price high and wait for somebody to negotiate you down. Your goal is to price at the right price and actually get offers and have real conversations so you know where you sit. Because the most expensive thing in real estate, as far as the seller goes, is not a lowball offer. It's no offers. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, the other thing I tell them too is, well, that method is what I call chasing a ball downhill. You price high, nobody offers, we lower, we lower, we lower. By the second or third lower, or the third or fourth month, this thing starts to happen. So let me ask you, Mr. Seller, if you're ever buying a house and you see a house that's been on the market for 3 or 4 months, what do you think about that house? Something's wrong. What is wrong with this house? And when you start thinking, what is wrong with this house? What does that make you think you can do? I can write a lowball offer. I can write any offer they want to. So
Yeah.
pricing too high not only may not get you offers, but when you price it too high and then you end up being many days on the market, now you're fighting 2 monsters instead of one. One monster is your price is too high. Okay, maybe you want to get an offer. The second monster is you've been on the market so long that people begin to believe you don't want to sell or you're desperate. That is more painful than just being overpriced. And you put yourself in that situation by overpricing. Do we want to do that? No. And I'm going to go over the last piece in this. Well, the other agent said I could get 186 a square foot. The other agent told me I could get 450,000, and you're telling me my price is 425 and under. How do we combat that? Does anybody else have any ways to overcome that objection?
Why are we here? Why are we here, Mr. Customer?
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you think that can make somebody feel? What do you mean, why are we here?
Like you don't care.
I mean, yeah, it depends on where you are in the process, but
Yeah.
some people need a dose of reality.
A little bit, yeah. I'll tell you one of the best ways to do that is I go a little deeper in that conversation. And I say, Mr. Seller, I totally understand that. So when they told you that price, how did it make you feel? And they say, it made me feel really good. I said, okay. Now, when they went through all the numbers, did all of the numbers support that number? And they say, I don't know. I'm like, they go over that with you? No, they just made you feel good, right? Okay, so let me tell you something. When I tell you the truth, sometimes it's not going to feel good. But if I lie to you, it's going to feel really damn good. You're gonna love it. So would you rather me lie to you so you can feel good, or tell you the truth and we have a little bit of pain? Okay, good. I'm glad you said tell you the truth, because I'm not going to lie to you. We're not going to do that. I'd rather disappoint you now in this conversation of pricing than in 6 months when I fail to sell your house, because that's not what we want. So you can go with a happy-go-lucky, feel-good agent who probably didn't tell you the truth and go over all the numbers with you, or you can go with the agent who told you the truth. I don't want to say I told you so. All I ask is if you choose the other agent, if they ask you for a price reduction, even one price reduction, you tell them, when you tell me to lower my price, I get to terminate this contract and go with Ozzie because he told me the truth. Because he lied to you. Is that fair? I'm going to ask you to just go with me right now. But if you choose to go with them, and then in 3 weeks or a month or whatever, they ask you to lower the price, you'll know they didn't tell you the truth. And you're still in business with the liar. So you should probably go ahead and terminate that contract and come to get in business first is going to get the job done. Got it?
Can you maybe?
Hold on real quick. I want to, Bree, did you have something to say?
No, I'm sorry. I just noticed that I was unmuted. I'm sorry.
Hey, sorry, I want to make sure we got you. Okay, nobody else. Go ahead. What'd you say, Robert?
Can you go over what the conversation would look like when you're speaking to the sellers and you're talking about the timeline? Because a lot of times we do like a year-long listing contract. And
So I do 6 months pretty much.
oh,
Most of mine are 6 months. The only time I ask for a year is in a big commercial deal.
okay.
Like if it's a couple $1 million, if it's a multi-million-dollar listing, like a luxury property, because you're talking about dealing with the 1% of the population that can physically afford it.
Hmm.
So those are the only ones. I usually do a 6 month.
So what does
Now,
that,
that's the question again.
so what does that conversation look like where they're like, well, why can't we do it for a shorter time? Why can't we just do it for 3 months? And when I chat GPT, like,
So this is the statistics, right? This is where this is where you run your freaking comps, right?
Yeah.
So if you run your comps and you look at your number, just like you came up with this equation for price per square foot, you can usually take the same equation and lay it on top of days on market. So you can say, you know what, I noticed the properties at 180 a square foot were 67 plus days on the market, or 90 plus days on the market. The properties are 165 square foot are usually around 30 days on the market, 30 to 45, right? And the properties are 150 a square foot and under were 30 days or less on the market. So here's the deal is, if you price higher, I'm going to ask you for more than 6 months. If you price actually a little more fair, we're going to stick with the 6 months, because here's the truth is, in a regular contract, 30 to 45 days on the market, we finally get under contract, another 45 days to closing. We are already 3 months in to closing on a regular deal if everything goes according to plan. This is real estate. Not everything's going to go according to plan. So I want to make sure there's enough cushion for my marketing to sink in to get you the right buyer. And that's to go through the timeline of getting it closed. 6 months is about as fair as I can be with you. Fair enough? Cool. Work.
gotcha, yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Guys, does that help? Anything else? Because I think we're done.
Yeah, it's 8:39.
It is. Do we have a good conversation? Does this help? Does this work?
Yeah.
I need to hear some feedback.
Yeah, man, this is good. This is good.
Oh yeah, it helped. Yeah, good stuff.
And
Yeah, I wish I would have known this before I put my listing live.
Well, now we know. Hey, I want to take a picture of this too. We're gonna take a picture of it, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it into a just like a page where I can send out on in Google Chat, so everybody can have a copy of that to know the questions to ask and how that conversation goes. Cool.
yeah,
All right, guys, it is time for gratitude and bucket fillers. What are you guys grateful for today?
The kids going back to school, man, it's crazy.
What's that gonna do for you, Othon?
I'm gonna be at the office for sure. So my daughter goes back Wednesday to Pearland. She'll be her first day of school is Wednesday of next week. My son's was today.
Let's go. What school
Yeah.
you going to?
My daughter's going to Pearland High School.
Woo! What grade?
Steve be a freshman.
I got a sophomore, man.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my daughter wants to get into the cheer program. She does cheerleading on the side. She's been going to a private school, but she wanted to wait it out because she wants to do her the backflip, get her backflip right before she joins Pearland Cheer. So yeah, definitely next year she's looking forward to it.
Super competitive, man. You got to do a back handspring and all kinds of. I'll be honest, my daughter tried out twice and did not make it.
Yeah, I heard it's tough. It's very
It
tough.
was heartbreaking, extremely tough. So, but put in the work, man. You can get it done.
Oh, for sure. That's what we're working on right now.
So we about to see Othon in the office. Let's go.
Let's go.
2 more gratitudes and bucket fillers. What y'all got?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I hear the parents with kids at high school, they are grateful the kids go back to school. Now that I'm empty nester, I'm grateful for my daughter and my son call back for a deep conversation. So that is life. I'm grateful for that, for the last conversation I had today with my daughter.
Let's go. Man. Anybody else got one? What? I'll go. What? I think I saw somebody on mute. No. Okay. Man, I'm grateful for the opportunity to send my son off to school today. I got to take his little picture in front of the fireplace and all that stuff. But man, I didn't cry in front of him, but all morning I cried. And when I left, I cried too. It's, oh man, we love our babies, man. Absolutely love our babies. But I'm grateful. He's a big, strong, he's a great kid. I don't know. I just always have these feelings of like, man, did I fuck him up? Like, what did I do bad? Like, what could I have done better? It's a lot, man. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a dad. It's a
Amen,
huge
brother. Amen.
Amen. Huge blessing, man. All right, it is Agent Real Talk. What are you struggling with? What is something you really like? We're like, man, this is hitting me in the heart in my business. This is keeping me up at night in my business. This is what I'm struggling with. Let's get real. Let's have the conversations.
I would say for me is what's keeping me up at night is, am I doing enough for my listing? Being that I've, just came back into real estate again, and obviously I keep saying that so much has changed, which it's had since 2016, 2015. So I'm just like,
I love this. So Christine, I'm going to erase this board and I'm going to ask Vanna White, Sandra to come back up because my hearing sucks. Guys, this is another great freaking conversation. Vanna Mexican, Vanna Brown. Here, will you get this? Okay, so look, let's do this as a group, guys. As a collective, what would you have to do in order to be the most complete listing agent you can be? I think it's in the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to give a couple things for me. Number one, you should set up every listing on an insight report. If you don't know what a market insight report is, guys, if you're on the team, it's already done for you. If you're a solo agent with AEA, if you go into your heart and before you get all the way into the matrix, on the left side, you're going to see a place for tools. In that place for tools, you drop down and there's a place for market insight report. You go in there and you click on market insight report and it'll have a list of your properties. You click on that property you have listed and you can go in and set up like almost for it to get weekly comps sent to them. It automatically connects to your showing smart to give them their feedback and what showings going on in that portal. It tells them what traffic you're getting on different websites for your listing. But I'll tell you that right there, that emails them every week. Sends them a link.
Ozzie, sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at it, but I don't see where it says market insight. I'm under tools. My options are
It's
mobile
marketing tools, I think.
marketing tools,
Yeah,
and then market insight. Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, now this is getting technical. You got to go in there and you got to put in their email address if it's not already in there. Then you got to set it up with parameters, right? And the parameters could be, so your square footage on your property, it could be 250 square foot above, 200 square foot, 50 square foot below. It could be a range in the subdivision only or in the area. So you want to set those parameters to get you a good minimum 6 up to like 12 or 15 properties. Once you have that and it says 12 properties will be sent to your seller, you've got a pretty good range. If it's under 2 or 3, oh my, it's a little tough. You're not sending them enough data. So once you set that, you can put it to when you want to send to them.
We usually do Wednesday.
We usually do like Mondays or Wednesdays. You do it according to your schedule and theirs. So if you set it for Monday, now you tell them, hey, every Monday, you're going to get this market insight report. Then what we're going to do is every Wednesday or Tuesday, I'm going to call you and we're going to go over it. So automatically you've got two pieces of conversation or communication. One is the market insight report, and one is your phone call to go over it. Here's the truth. They're not going to look at that shit. I'm just being real with you. But it's not about whether they look at it. It's knowing that you are doing a job and sending them data. Some of them will look at it. But the phone call afterwards is where you bring the value. So you need to look at it. You need to pay attention to it. You need to know what showings were there, what was the feedback, what are the comparative, what is going on in the market. I would also challenge you to one more thing is set up a custom CMA for them that also emails them on Monday. Totally aside, do it in Matrix. So now you have two pieces of email that are going to them. And then you look at that data, you interpret the data, and then you have a conversation with them. Hey, this is what I'm seeing in your report. This many homes hit the market. This many are under contract. You're in competition with this house and this house. We didn't get any showings, or we did. Here's the feedback. Based on this information, I believe, okay, so if you have plenty of showings and you're getting offers, you're good to go. Plenty of showings, no offers, after 3 to 4 weeks, you probably need a price reduction. If you go 2 to 3 weeks and no showings, you need a price reduction. So, but the data helps you have that conversation. So that's the first part. I want to hear from you guys. What are other things you can do to bring value to your listings, value to your sellers, and truly feel like I'm being the most complete listing agent? I'm doing my damn job. I'll leave it open.
Should we get a because I'm running on the I guess the version of the Matrix or horror account that I have. Would it be worth it to go ahead and go with the platinum subscription?
If you are not on the team, if you're a solo agent, yes. Right? If you are on the team, on the listing side, you don't need it. Right? We already take care of all that for you.
Okay, cool.
Right? So if you can afford it and you want to, yeah, there's some cool tools in there. But if it's not in the budget right now, you can hold tight on it on the team because we already do that for you. That stuff that we just told you about already happens on your listings. What are other things we need to be thinking about doing for our sellers?
Can boost it on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, there you go. Christine, go and take a couple pictures and put it on Facebook Marketplace.
I have not done that. Good idea.
Yeah. Not just Marketplace, but take a couple. And oh, here's the kicker, guys. Oh my God. This is a social media 101. I see agents mess this up all the time. If you are going to post about your listing on social media, do not post your hard link. Do not post any link that takes them off of Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Why? Because they're going to tag you for it. When you post an HAR.com link on Facebook in your original post, Facebook says, oh no, they're trying to take them off of our website. We don't like that. And they will actually limit who gets to see that post. So instead, here's what you do. You take your 3 or 4 best pictures. You take your best description. I don't care if you got to get it done with ChatGPT, whatever. You take that best description of the property, 3 or 4 of the best photos. And you also at the bottom, make sure you put your contact info. Christine Perez, real estate agent to the stars. Put your name and your number and your email address and say first time home buyer expert, new home expert, investment expert, however you want to do it. That's a miniature call to action. And you post that. Then in the comments, you can post the link to the HAR. That won't hurt you. And I want you to understand that's the people that master the game. I know you guys have seen it. KHOU News, Channel 2, Channel 13, Channel Fox 26, whatever. Notice how they operate. They will post an image, breaking news, sensational shit, right? And then underneath it gives a description. Local man, blah, 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 blah. Local woman, blah, 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 blah. They give you some shit to get you roped in, give you some basics. Then they give their little tag at the bottom. They do not put the link. They put the link in the comments. Go study it. They know the game. They bring the news. They understand the algorithms. You need to play the game with the algorithms too. So those are two great ways. Facebook Marketplace and putting a post. Do the post the right way. Y'all got it? What else? Not done. What are other things we need to do to bring the most value to our listings in this tough listing market?
Speed communication is key. I have my sellers where I touch base with them once a week, and it's usually towards the end of the week. Just letting them know, like just checking in, even if there hasn't been any activity, no showings, anything, like just text them, hey, Mr. Seller, just wanted to check in, see how things were going. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I didn't mention anything about the listing. Like, they want to hear from you, and just like, don't, even if the pain of no showings and no offers, it's painful for us, but don't allow that pain to keep you from communicating from your sellers because you're fearful of, oh my God, they're upset because we haven't had any showings. Like, stay in the trenches with your seller every week. It's so important in this market.
And I'm willing to bet if Laura's on here, she'd tell you, I heard this a lot. They got me to sign the listing agreement and then they ghosted me. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. You've got to stay in communication. I will tell you to add the next layer on, which has to do with marketing and advertising. Having a grand opening open house and marketing like crazy, and then telling them all about the marketing you did for them. Huge. Having an open house once a month, especially if you get price reductions, doing all the marketing, and then telling about all your marketing. Huge. I would honestly say, if you did everything on this list, you are probably in the top 5% of all listing agents, because listing agents don't do all of this.
Another thing too, if your listing is getting a lot of showings, but you're not getting any offers, if you are not chasing those buyer agents for feedback, you are not doing your sellers any justice either. So like with me, for instance, I have a listing, and the feedback. And so I give them the feedback, and the feedback also helps you get those price improvements. I call it a price improvement. I don't like to call it a reduction because it kind of like, I don't know, it just sounds better. But, I was able to, some feedback they got, some feedback, some agents just don't provide it. But if you just send the agent another text message saying, hey, buyer's agent, thank you for showing my listing at 123 Main Street. Do you have any feedback, positive or negative, that you can provide so I can take back to my seller? And they'll send me, price too high. I screenshot that text message from them and I send it to my seller and say, hey guys, just wanted to let you know this agent didn't fill out the feedback form, but I reached out and this is what they have provided. That helps tremendously because it's showing the seller that, dang man, she is being proactive. She is really trying to help me get this sold. She's asking the agents for feedback. Like, do not sit back and wait for that feedback form to get filled out, because 90% of the time they're not going to fill it out. But if you shoot them a text, everybody has their phone. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that property, it's, my clients didn't like that the master wasn't downstairs. So nothing we can do about that. That's just the way the house was built, but it's also showing value to your client. So make sure you're doing that as well.
Yes, in the conversation, let your seller know, hey, I reached out. We sent 2 emails for the feedback on this one. I called them twice. I text them. I'm going to keep chasing them until I get you feedback because it's really important. That is a great opportunity. Feedback is huge. I hear that a lot too. Well, I had 10 showings, but I don't know. We didn't get any feedback. I don't even know what happened. And the agent didn't tell me nothing. Huge. So there it is, guys. Be the most complete listing agent. All right, y'all ready? It's affirmation time, y'all. Come on up. Let's knock this out. Holy crap, I'm
Let's
losing
give
my voice.
Ozzie voice
You
arrest.
need to quit screaming.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like me, you
too
overly
loud.
talk loud.
Man, my it's like pollen and everything's just chilling in here with me. Okay, it's not over until I win. That's what I'm feeling today. Are y'all down with that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah, guys, real quick, I just want to make sure, guys, people are gonna come and go. We brought on 8 agents last month. We're always bringing people on. We're always shifting and changing. And I know, sometimes we do get out of business with people. We love Aislinn. We wish her well. And we want her to have all the success in the world. This is not a conversation we all took lightly. This has been in the works for probably about a week or 2. And we all made the decision that it wasn't in the cards for us to be in business with each other anymore. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Aislinn. Still gonna lift her up. Still gonna talk to her. Still gonna coach her on some things. There were things that I really wanted her to do in her business that she didn't, and it caused a rift. And I still told her after the fact, no matter where you go, you really got to fix this part of your business, or you're going to continue to have these same problems. And that's it. We love her. We lift her up. I'll take her to dinner, take her to lunch, have coffee. It was no longer a fit, and that's okay. So if you see her, hug her, love her, all that good stuff. We have no problems with her. We are not the type of brokerage that if you ever leave, we're not like, you can never come back. We hate you. Robin's a perfect example. Robin left the brokerage, and then she's like, hey, maybe we can do this again. So she's back. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like we don't, we don't have to be shitty to each other. So when people come or they go or whatever, it doesn't work anymore. Guys, we love them. We wish them well. No hard feelings. Man, I continue to coach these people. I continue to coach and work with Robin after she left. Guys, nothing wrong with it. It's a part of the business. And I will tell you right now, it's a big part of the business right now, real estate, because there's so many people struggling with all the changes and what's going on. I won't lie to you. We're talking to a 40+ person real estate brokerage that wants to fold their business into us. We're talking to a 17-person Remax brokerage. This is a really good chance they're going to close their doors and come work with us. There's a lot of shift going on. And when shift goes on, or money's tight, or the economy's struggling, people are looking for answers. We want to be the place where they find their answers, but we are not going to always be the best place for them to find their answer. And that's okay. So we love Aislinn. We love Julia too. She's having health issues. She stepped away from the business for a little bit. We're good. We love all these people. When they come and they go and whatever happens, it is what it is. All I know is we're going to keep on growing and we're not going to stop. And we're going to keep on improving to serve you guys every single day. And these huddles and these coaches and these trainings, they're not going to stop. I've been doing the same shit for 21 years. I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. So that's it. I just want to make sure like we don't brush it on the rug, act like it didn't happen. But we love her and we support her. And that's why we didn't when the decision was made yesterday, we didn't kick her out of everything. We let her stay in to say our goodbyes because that's who we are. So love you guys. If you have any questions or need anything, just hit us up. I'd rather you come here in the office and let's just talk and work. But here we are. If y'all need anything, holler at us. Have a great day. Stay out of the allergies. Don't cry too much over your kids going to school. And let's make it a really great week, guys. Y'all have a great day. Love you.
Wait, we gotta
Oh,
have,
yeah. Oh, shit. It's not over until I win.
don't scream.
Okay,
Like,
hold
don't even just like
on.
say
I'm just
it.
gonna say it like this.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Okay, ready? Okay, you lead us then.
All right, guys, you ready? We're gonna, oh, it's not over until I win on now.
It's
not over till I win.
It's
not over till I
not
win.
over till I win. It's not over till I win.
Oh, that was painful for you. I could tell. You want to scream. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You know, taco will help you.
I think you're right. A good cup of